with the whole social media and how the internet is, it's such great, like, you can go on there and find all this information and all this stuff, but that's also a negative when kids are just going on and looking up things themselves.
Hello everyone, I'm Erica.
And I'm Akilah.
Welcome to HeartsChat.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of HeartsChat. So tonight we're talking about depression and social media and teens. So we want to know, do you think that social media has an impact on depression in teens? Is there some type of relation, or is it completely separate? So that's what we're talking about today. So if you have an opinion about this, make sure to leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. So, Akilah, what do you think? Do you think it's connected?
Well, that's actually a really interesting question, simply because I know there's research out there that's saying it does. There's research saying that it may not have as much impact as we think, and all of these other things. But from my personal experience, what I can say is that I have definitely seen more middle school, which isn't even teenagers yet. Like in some instances, yes, they are teenagers, but more middle school kids, and so many more middle school kids who are having such suicidal and depressive thoughts that I'm like, there has to, like, what is different now than it wasn't different like 10 years ago?
Right.
And I feel like social media is really an increase in the way we use it now.
Yeah.
Is something that's been a major factor.
Right, I agree. I think, because I know some people say it does, people say it doesn't, and the person that said it doesn't is talking about, like, the good things about social media and technology, and teens love this stuff, and young people love it, and it's great. So I think with that, maybe they should kind of maybe be a little bit more specific about what they mean about social media and how it's used, because there are some good benefits for social media.
Absolutely.
But the part that I see, because I agree, I've seen it with middle school age kids, and I've seen it even with younger kids.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, because I remember for me, like back in my day, I used to watch Degrassi or Degrassi, whatever you say. And I was like, I don't know, maybe 13, 14, somewhere in there. And I didn't know about cutting or any of those type of things. And I saw it that's where I saw it. I saw it on Degrassi. I didn't know anything about that. But, that show was placed in school. They show, like, things happen in school. So maybe, like, it was kind of, but it was like a new thing. I didn't know anything about that. And that's as a teenager.
Yes.
And now you hear about kids so young in middle school where you're like, what, 12?
Yeah, 12, 13. Yeah, 12, 13.
Yeah, before
14.
high school.
Yeah, before high school.
Talking about, they feel depressed, and, they are cutting and thinking about suicide. And it's just really sad. And it's also, I try and think about it because it's difficult sometimes, because the word depression is used so loosely a lot.
Yes.
Like, I got depression, I feel depressed, or I got anxiety. And really, you mean, like, I'm sad, I'm down. I'm nervous about this. So
Absolutely.
That's the other thing I think about, too.
No, I can definitely, like, I've even had, like, thinking about, like, I even had young people, middle school age, just saying things like, oh no, I have to have this, like, best Instagram. Like, I need to have these followers. I need to have these, like, that's all I hear. I have to get likes and I have to get followers. And I'm like, do you even know these people? Like, and they're like, no, most of the time I'm not. So but it doesn't matter. As long as I have likes, as long as I have followers, that means I'm doing good. That means I'm a popular. That means I'm, all of these things. And I'm like, that's really a lot of pressure.
It is.
And the other thing I'm finding is that, with the whole social media and how the internet is, it's such great, like, you can go on there and find all this information and all this stuff, but that's also a negative when kids are just going on and looking up things themselves. Yeah. I say technology is great, but when it comes to kids, it has to be technology plus education. Yeah. Because they have so much more access to things than we did as we were younger. Right. I was talking to one of my younger clients before, and I said, you guys have so much access. You can just, even if you didn't want to see something and you have people on your timeline on Facebook or Instagram or anything, you're still going to see it. You're going to be exposed to it.
Yeah.
And I said, for me to do research, I had to go to an encyclopedia. Like, yeah.
Right.
I was like, there was no other anything there. Like, yeah, I had computers later in my life, but, like, it wasn't to the impact that is now. Like,
I want to say real quick, I want you next time to go ask them if they know what an encyclopedia is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you're fine.
You know what that is?
Do you know what that is? But it's just, like, the amount of, with thinking back then, like, the amount of information that we were able to access was so much smaller than these kids have access to now. And, you know, and kids having smartphones at such young ages where they have the ability to go on this without parents monitoring all the time. Because, first of all, I don't even know how parents monitoring social media, like, it just boggles my mind because there's so much.
I think, and I was going to say that, parenting, that's the key right there. I think between the social media, the depression with teens and young people, the link, I think, is parenting. Because
absolutely.
I remember when, you know, we didn't really have that. So you go to school and deal with what you deal with, and you go home and you don't have that. Now, your phone is with you everywhere, all the time. So,
and I don't mean to cut you off, Erica, but schools are now allowing kids to just have their phones with them at all times. Like, you can go on, like, people were telling me, like, oh, yeah, I can just listen to music in my class. I can just text my friends in my class. My teachers don't care. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, because some of it is like, okay, you know, you can listen to music, you're being peaceful, as long as you're not doing anything.
Absolutely,
you know? So it's kind of that. But that's crazy. Because it used to be like, okay, you have your cell phone in school, that phone better not ring.
It better
not vibrate. Nothing better be in your locker. Like, you'll be nervous, have your phone in your purse.
Yep.
Like,
that was like
around.
a secret. Like, you were being bad. Like, you were like being, I can't even think of the word, but
rebellious or
rebellious, defiant.
I have a cell phone in my purse.
Yeah.
You know? But even then, like, your phone's with you now all the time.
Yes.
And with, like, bullying, too. Like, if you go to school, you get picked on, you go home, like, okay, I'm home, end of the day, I'm with my family, whatever. Now it's, like, on your phone, it's there. Like,
it's
everything you deal with is right there. But I think where parents can step in is, hey, when you get home, give me the phone. Especially for that young age, like the middle school age. Like, when you're home, give me the phone, it's getting put away. Or family, the phones go in the basket. You know, certain time of day, there has to be limits.
Absolutely, there has to be limits, and like that's really one of the most complaints that I get when working with parents. Is like, my kid is always on their electronics, and I'm like, well.
And it pacifies them, so people want to give it to them because they don't want to deal with the attitude or
the tantrums that some kids have nowadays.
Or they're on their phone, they're being peaceful. So, but yeah, they're being peaceful. What are they looking at?
Absolutely. And that's kind of what I meant by the education. The education has to come from the parents, like educating your child, like, there's this going on, there's that going on, don't use it this way, you know. I already thought, like, my kids are getting, like, you know, those, like, what were those phones that just have certain numbers on it? No smartphones until you're at least, like, 14.
Right.
If then, because there's so much you get into.
Exactly. It's just too much, honestly.
And then comparing themselves to other people.
Yeah, and that's another educational point to say, hey, because we're all people with, like, kids in middle school and everything. We're all pretty young enough to know what it was like when you first got your cell phone and the effects of the internet. So you can say, hey, I know there's these pictures and stuff on there. I mean, parents now they're in with what's going on. You know. Maybe some caretakers that are grandparents. So even some of them are still in what's going on. But
absolutely.
Some might not be, but you can say, hey, I know on social media there's that pressure. I know there's these beautiful people on there. This is Photoshop. I mean, that's not real. This is unrealistic. Let me explain this to you.
Yeah.
And you do have influencers that are online that have talked about that. Like, hey, I Photoshop all my pictures. Like, I got extensions in. These teeth are fake. You know, but young people, they don't see that, and they won't know that unless they've heard about it from that influencer, or they have a caretaker that's going to educate them about the unrealistic expectations. Plus, you're a young person wanting to look like these adult people. You can't look like that.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But, you know, I just think today there's not a lot of, like, young examples. You know, like, we had Sister, you know, Tamara, that was, like, a good young example and, like, a reflection of, okay, I look like that. That's appropriate, you know.
Absolutely.
But it's just so different, and everybody has these expectations, And when they can't attain them or reach them, then they do feel down. They do feel depressed because you can't do it. You can't reach that. You can't be that.
No, absolutely. And, another thing that I'm finding out is that, with as much access, so kids are learning about things like, like depression and suicide and cutting and things like that, just searching these things, and things come up sometimes in YouTube videos. And then I'm seeing more of this too. And this is, I guess, for any parents who are listening, just to kind of talk to your kids about, is that kids are kind of making suicide pacts.
Yeah.
Or cutting pacts, where when I'm talking to some of these kids, it's like, oh yeah, everybody in my school is doing this. And I'm like, what? Everybody in your school is doing this? They're like, yeah, everybody's doing it. Some people are doing it for attention. Some people are really just doing it because they have mental illness. These are what the kids are saying to me. And I'm just like, so everyone in your school is doing this? People are bringing sharp things to school and cutting themselves in bathrooms. What is happening, kind of thing? Wow. So, it's really, really important, like Erica said, is to talk to your children. Talk to your young ones, talk to your middle school, even talk to your teenagers, talk to all of them about kind of safety and some of the dangers that do come from the internet and social media.
Now, that's crazy. If the whole school is doing it, because you say, okay, watch your friends. You got to know who your kids' friends are. You got to know what kind of friends to pick, that kind of thing. But it's like, wow, the whole school, how do you deal with that?
It was so bad that their school actually had an assembly and brought a professional in to talk about all of that.
Yeah.
That, I love that the school did that, but how did we get here?
It really shows how important bonds are with your friends at that age. That is everything.
Everything.
Beyond to that point. I mean, I know you're my friend and everything, but I don't remember being
no, I'm not doing that.
That's intense.
Yeah, no.
So something's missing. When you feel like you have to have that strong of a bond with your friends, there's definitely that link, that parent link. There's something with that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what people need to look at. You're looking at the correlation between depression and teens and social media. What about the family?
Yes.
And what's going on there and what has changed there? Because there's a new generation of parents and parenting styles and the economy. Maybe parents are having to work more. They don't have a lot of money, but they don't have the time to spend with their kids as much.
Yes.
That's what I think needs to be focused on instead of, social media comes to the play probably because the parents are working or doing what they want to do, so they're spending time on their phones. They're forming bonds with, their friends.
Yes.
But that's, I think, a big piece of it.
I agree.
All right. Well, we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to HeartsChat today, where we speak from the heart. We hope that you enjoyed our show. Catch us every Sunday and Tuesday on our YouTube channel and our website, which is HeartsChatRadioshow.com. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages at HeartsChat Radio on Instagram and at HeartsChat on Twitter and Facebook.
We love to hear from you. If you have any questions or topics that you want us to talk about, email us at HeartsChat@HeartsChatRadioshow.com. And for all of your personal relationship questions, visit our website, HeartsChatRadioshow.com, and click the From Erica's Heart tab. Your question will be answered within 24 hours. Thank you for listening to HeartsChat, where we speak from the heart.